You know, well, the hinge didn't work out as I had hoped. In fact, well, what happened is I didn't leave enough room between the two top halves of the hood, so that when this side was to rotate upward, it actually was binding along this edge with the other half of the top of the hood. I had done some sanding and dry fitting. It looked like it was going to work, but sometimes Linus, sometimes in dry fit and test fitting, uh, the situations aren't identical to what you have in a final assembly. So somehow I wasn't quite replicating the situation in dry fit to what we ended up with here on the final assembly. So long story short, it did not work, and I had to glue it up. So that's glued up. But the rest of the story isn't so bad. This, so anyway, you can see we have the demarcation lines between red and black, replicating the prototype that I was using for inspiration. The photograph that I posted, it had the bright work, the bright trim here. So I just used bare metal foil to replicate the chrome stripe on either end of the red main stripe here on the side of the body. So it took me a minute to spit that out, but you know what I'm saying. You can see it right there. Yeah, chrome trim. So that's done, and we got it pretty good on both sides. Alignment on that trim looks pretty good. At least I think so. You're the final arbiters out there, so you tell me. What else? What else? So now what's left to do is the bright work. Lights and horns need to go up on the top of the hood. The mirrors need to go on. The two Autocar emblems, one on either side of the hood. The lift handles on either side. The lighting, headlights, and fog lights, and turn signals, and turn signals go here. The side light. There's a side. What do they call those? Running light. It's mounted almost like a headlight fixture, but turned out to the side. So those need to go on. I'm still debating on the back whether to add a headache rack of some kind. You can see the stack went on pretty good on square, straight. I don't know if that's coming through on camera, but you can see it's vertical here and it's vertical here. The cab leans forward, that's why there's a growing gap, but there's a spacer provided with the kit there at the top, little butterfly spacer. What else? So I was debating. I was debating whether or not to add, whether to add decking. And a lot of times in these older trucks, what the guys did was they just took chain link fence material and spot welded it or welded it to the top of the frame here, and that gave them a way to step around and walk around on the and in lieu of a plate of a tread plate, a diamond plate or something like that, the cheaper way was just to weld the heavy duty chain link up there. So what I would do in this case would be I would paint this in the body color, add a strip of a 16th wide strip of 020 styrene on each side as a capture, and just glue that onto the top of the frame here. I'd cut a section that ran probably at least from the front of the battery boxes to the front of the trailer hitch plate. But at any rate, that's what I use the window screen for oftentimes, is to replicate chain link And as I say, it was a common practice to use that material as sort of a cheapy way of creating a deck up here to walk around, for the guys to walk around on for during trailer hookup, hooking up the power lines or the air brake line, or all the different connections, trailer connections. Also, if you dropped your tools while you're working up here, you had a better chance of not having to climb down and go under the truck to get them back. They just land on the chain link. Right, so I'm thinking I might add that for this kit, for this model. It's a nice extra touch. I think I have one truck with it here, but I don't want to get up and dick around with that. So anyway, yeah, the bling, we'll add the chrome bits, and we'll come back with a final once I get that. But I did say I was going to make a video here with the cab and the hood installed, hopefully showcasing that the hinged hood was working. But sadly it didn't work out. When you build these things, and you you make plans to do something extra, and it doesn't always pan out. This is one of those cases. It's all right. We'll just keep moving. We'll try again next time. I think if I would have elongated the holes for my hinge pin, made them oval shaped, and cut more toward the outside of the truck on each end, that would have given me a way to, I could have started the lift, then pulled the top of the hood just about a 32nd of an inch to the side, or maybe a 1/16th of an inch to the side, and then it would have rotated up. So in hindsight, next time when I do this, the plan would have worked if I'd have just elongated or made those holes just a little bit bigger, that the pin was inserted into, the hinge pin was inserted into at each end, just enough to where I could have pulled the hood off to the side just enough to give clearance, and then rotate it up, and then in closing you would put it down, and then at the final step push it back over to push the two halves together. So next time we'll get it right. But gluing it back up, it looks okay. We've got a pretty good fitment all around. The kit does go together pretty well. I need to go back and say that the fit issues were really not present with this kit. If you do everything correctly, and take your time and dry fit everything, you end up without any real issues at all. The whole front end went together really nicely. The engine fit in properly where it was supposed to. The drive shaft was just the right length. In fact, I didn't even have to glue it. I just captured it in there. It rotates, such as it is. I was able to make the truck a roller. All of the wheels roll. Not that it matters. It's just a challenge, I think. In this case, I hadn't planned on it, but as it turns out, it went together in such a way that was the outcome. So that's okay. It does make them more likely to roll off a shelf. So I'll probably have to put this one in a case at some point, before I give it away to Junior. Right, so there we are, the Autocar, still in progress. We'll get the bling on, come back, do another video. Anybody have any questions, just let me know in the comment section. Thanks. Have a great day.